So guys, Festus Keyamo is crying foul, He's crying foul because Peter Obi's lawyer helped in securing Governor Adeleke's victory at the Supreme Court. Honestly, it was a time of happiness. It was a time of joy because, Peter Obi's lawyer is somebody that has proven that he knows his job and he does it perfectly well. Honestly, God used it to prove that, our Supreme Court can, still be relied upon. And look at Festus Keyamo crying foul on Twitter. He came out, instead of him to rejoice with those that are rejoicing, look at him crying foul. Let me read out what Festus Keyamo said here. On his Twitter handle, he wrote, "Those celebrating the decision of the Supreme Court today in the Osun governorship contest are naturally the members of the PDP. I congratulate them. They've been joined by the members of their Siamese twins, the Labour Party. Anything against APC for them is victory for the rule of law. I also congratulate them. However, they have not even stopped for a minute in their euphoria to reflect on the principles enunciated by the Supreme Court today as it affects the tenability of the results obtained by beavers to prove overvoting and how it affects their pending presidential election petition that will go before the same Supreme Court in a few months' time. The Supreme Court has set a precedent today that can be two-edged sword, and when I reflected on it, I just chuckled." So guys, Festus Keyamo is confused. He's confused. He's saying that, the judgment could be a two-edged sword, meaning it could go this way or it could go that way. APC is not supposed to have mouth in this case because the Supreme Court has just exposed them. We've been complaining that Peter Obi's votes were stolen, and this is just it. With the use of the beavers, the Supreme Court will be able to know how many people voted for Peter Obi and how much votes were allocated to Peter Obi. So guys, these things are going to be made clear. I'm sure the APC is already jittering. They are jittering because they are going to come out to tell us how they managed to win in Rivers State. Why were Peter Obi's votes in Lagos reduced? How did they even win in Benue State? How did the APC win in Benue State? How did they win in Taraba? Fellow Nigerians, how did they? There are so many states that Peter Obi won, very clearly. But these votes were stolen. I tell you, in few weeks to come, all these things will be unveiled. And don't forget that in the north, we had so many cases of overvoting. We had underage voting. We saw people thumb printing, they were in groups, thumb printing on the ballot sheets. These were APC people. These are some of the things that will be brought to the spotlight as, the court proceeding continues. So guys, you have seen it for yourself, and let me just take you through one or two reactions.
In the reaffirmation of Ademola Adeleke as governor of Osun State by the Supreme Court, well, on Tuesday, a 5-member panel of the Apex Court held that a court of appeal correctly reinstated Adeleke as governor and that the appellant, Adegboyega Oyetola of the All Progressives Congress, failed to tender relevant materials such as the beavers from 744 polling units in the state, the INEC voters register, or from EC8A, showing the number of votes cast at each unit. Adeleke has commended the Supreme Court judgment, stating that the victory emphasized that the will of the people, ordained by God, survives the anti-masses plot of powerful forces.
Government is people's government. They ain't seen nothing yet. We have a lot of goodies in stock for our lovely Osun people. Even though there was little distraction, we were focused. You journalists can testify to our 100 days in office. You have seen it all. You went with me, you worked with me, you saw what we have done. And we are not, work is still going.
I'm dancing with him. Well, moments after the Supreme Court gave the judgment, some court officials were seen jubilating outside the courtroom. In a video that is now making the rounds on social media, a woman was seen rolling on the floor. Well, let's take a look. So much fun to watch yesterday. Well, congratulations to the governor of Osun State. As I said earlier, Tinubu, the president-elect, has congratulated him, as well as Atiku Abubakar. Let me take Atiku's tweet. Well, he wrote, "I'm excited to extend my heartiest congratulations to Governor Ademola Adeleke on his recent affirmation by the Supreme Court as the governor of Osun State. Your victory is not just a testament to your unwavering dedication and perseverance, but it also symbolizes the trust and faith of the people of Osun State have vested in you. Your journey to this monumental accomplishment has been characterized by tenacity and a staunch belief in the democratic process. Your success at the Supreme Court reaffirms the robustness of our judiciary and the strength of democracy in our nation. I wish you every success in your endeavors as you continue to lead Osun State into a promising future. Congratulations once again on your well-deserved victory." Well, let me take some Twitter comments from users on social media. Well, this is from Asiri, who wrote, "A win for democracy. One of the beauty of democracy is its provision for an independent judiciary that is free from both internal and external influences or threat. The people of Osun voted Adeleke, and the judiciary has vindicated the will of the people. Democracy won again." Well, Teddy wrote, "The Supreme Court judgment implies, 1, the primary source of accreditation is physical beavers. 2, the primary source of results is the results uploaded from beavers onto IREV from the polling unit." Well, in the meantime, a few hours after the announcement of Adeleke's victory by the Supreme Court, Afrobeat superstar and nephew to the governor, Davido, took to his Twitter account to congratulate his uncle and requested to hold a timeless concert from his new album in Osun State. Well, in response to the tweet, the governor replied affirmatively with the caption, "Done. We are waiting for a timeless concert in Osun State." I'm coming to you. Congratulations to the governor again. This is real democracy. I am so proud of our nation at this moment.
Yes, absolutely. Where to start from? Earlier on, I talked about the fact that it is important for people to have this reaction when the judgment is delivered, because it is a reflection of the will of or it seems to be a reflection of the will of the people. Two things that came to my mind. Either Governor Jitter was such a bad governor that we're just happy to see him go, or the fact that, Governor Adeleke is such a likable man that people are happy to see him come in. But I also talk about the length of time it takes to deliver judgment, or it takes for election matter tribunals like this. Governor Adeleke, when he came with a lot of vigor, physically and mentally, dancing governor as he was called. But he had also made some promises to the Osun people, and he reiterated that promise in his victory speech. He couldn't hit the ground running because he had to take time out to deal with this particular issue with regards to whether he was still going to be the substantive governor after the court procedure. Thankfully, he has emerged as governor. So the goodies he has promised the Osun State people is what I'd like to focus on, especially this morning. The people have given him their trust. Look at the joy and the excitement following his victory. May he remember that while he's in office, in the treatment of his people. Under Governor Oyetola's administration, in 2022, Osun State had the worst WAEC result in the 36 states of the Federation. When we look at unemployment numbers, they increased under his administration. What Governor Adeleke has said is that he was going to transform Osun State. We're looking forward to that transformation. The purpose of the will of the people being established, and a victory like this is for good governance. That's the best reward he can give the people of Osun State.
Absolutely. Rufai, I wanted you to comment on my second Twitter user, Teddy, who wrote about the way the announcement came, which is the fact that, one, he stated that the primary source of accreditation is the physical beavers, as well as the primary source of results is the results uploaded from beavers onto the IREF. What does this imply, and how do you think this will, go into the presidential election? Because I think this is the big takeaway for me in this whole
So a couple
issue.
of things. I think as Teddy and as other people, let's wait for the certified true copy of the judgment. Let's even see the mind of the court in the first place in that judgment. Yes, primary source is beavers and all of that, put on the IRF. But results put on the IRF, that's the point of result. But there's also a big thing of a burden of proof. And I think I'd like to advise governorship candidates in by-elections, off-cycle elections. Guys, you have to invest heavily on technology for the first time. You have to have a control room where at least in most of the polling units in your state, you have your own internal storage device where pictorial evidence of the accreditation sheets, the result sheets, and all of that are taken and are kept in your archive if you want to prosecute any electoral case. And when you look at that, I think that was the big undoing of the APC, because you can hardly prove that case. And when they try to rely on what was on the server, the court did say explicitly that there might be inaccuracies in the server. So if anybody's trying to rely on what's in the server, based on my interpretation, then it's problematic, because a lot of people are saying yes, and that's why they were asking for this thing from INEC. Both parties asked for accreditation data from INEC. The first one was printed for the APC, was based on that the tribunal ruled, because that's over voting. But there was now another level of inconsistency. When the second one was printed for the PDP, it showed that there were inconsistencies in the number. So based on that, now the court has taken a position. They are saying, the server might have inaccuracy, so we're not going to be using those data from the server. So it has to be the real stock data. That's why they were asking for beavers from 774 local governments, the real stock data. But you see, the trick is, that's in the preserve of INEC. So what it tells you is that the burden of proof, even with this technology antecedents as regards INEC, is higher. And this is definitely a locus classicus leading up to the presidential, petition. Let's see how all of this pans out. But one thing is certain, at least to still be able to make a case, those that we have in by-election, you must have a complete data center and gone are the days where your party agents in polling units just do whatever they like. You must tell them to submit data for you, because it's at least those data that can give you a fighting chance. And the sad reality is most people didn't do enough of that.
All right. We'll take another story. Billionaire businessman Femi Otedola on Tuesday set social media abuzz after revealing in a viral press statement that Tony Elumelu, the chairman of UBA and Transcorp PLC, betrayed his trust in 2008 after he went bankrupt in Nigeria. Well, Otedola stated that in 2007, he was the chairman of Transcorp Hotel with a shareholding of 5%. But unknowingly to him, Tony had gradually started buying shares in the company. Subsequently, he was told that an American firm, which turned out to be Tony Elumelu, bought all his shares at Transcorp, and that the revelation prompted him to resign as chairman of the hotel. Otedola also revealed that in 2012, Tony Elumelu had visited him at his office in Lagos, where he had a previous meeting with foreign investors. He then disclosed to Tony that he wanted to go into the power business, specifically Ughelli Power Plant, but that Tony quietly went ahead to bid for Ughelli and outbidded him by offering to buy the plant for $300 million. Well, in the press statement, Otedola also revealed how he had helped Tony Elumelu in the past. He stated that in 2005, while Tony was the managing director of Standard Trust Bank, he approached him to get funds to acquire UBA, and that he enthusiastically gave Tony $20 million, which was 2 billion naira at the time, to buy the necessary shares. Otedola also highlighted his recent interest in Transcorp PLC, stating that he had offered to buy the company for 250 billion naira, but his offer was rejected. A lot of lessons here, Dr. Abati, but I'd like to start with you, because there are a lot of comments that have, come out of this revelation. A lot of people are asking, why is it now that Femi Otedola is revealing these at this point? I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think the big lesson is really about betrayal. What do you make of it?
Well, we've seen a lot of bromance on television when Tony Elumelu granted an interview to Bosin Nomofai. And they were saying, oh, Femi Otedola is my brother. We are friends. He's the only other person I follow on Twitter, apart from my wife. Okay, but this latest development, this statement by Femi Otedola has shown that there is more to the story than meets the eyes. And we should expect to hear more, because the allegations in the statement by Femi Otedola are very serious and weighty allegations. So we should expect that maybe Tony Elumelu will also issue a statement. But what are the accusations here? Well, at one level, it's about business. The games billionaires play, boardroom politics. You buy, you sell, okay, on the surface of it. And Femi Otedola coming across as an activist investor. The other time, you used the word hostile investor.
Well, hostile...
Maybe you were right.
Yes, exactly.
Because,
that's what it means. Yeah.
Now, the undercurrent of this will seem to confirm your point.
Absolutely.
Not about hostility, rather than about activism.
Correct. One,
he says Tony Elumelu took his shares in UBA and in Transcorp when he went bankrupt. Okay? Is that the kind of response you expect from a friend? Two, he said his shares in Transcorp PLC were also taken, and that when he wanted to buy Ughelli power plant, and Tony Elumelu got wind of it, that Tony Elumelu went behind him and took the,
outbidded him.
Yeah, outbidded him to take the plant, the power plant from him. So it looks like this is revenge time from a man who has a long memory and who has waited for the appropriate time to step in and strike. So at that level, there must be some story there. Now, however, if you look at that his statement closely, he didn't attack Transcorp PLC. He didn't attack the shareholders. He's saying that, in fact, his plan is to go there and add value.
Absolutely.
And see how that business can be better. And indeed, even with his intervention, forget about the fact that he sold his shares later, and decided to move on. The shares of Transcorp PLC appreciated within a week, so shareholders got more value. But at the basis of all of this is the undercurrent about revenge, about capitalist maneuvers. And maybe there will be lessons here for other capitalists to learn.
Right.
Because you will recall that shortly after this particular story came up, I saw a story that Herbert Wigwe quickly rushed and bought more shares of Access Bank. So Otedola will seem to have instilled fear in other investors. And other investors are looking behind their back before they have an Otedola coming in, investing 6 billion naira and walking away with 30 billion. So lessons at the boardroom level here. Yeah. But the other residual matter will be the friendship between Elumelu and Otedola. Although both of them have tried to sound as nice as possible within the public domain. Yeah. And I wouldn't know whether they have even spoken to each other directly or they are communicating through proxies and boardroom maneuvers.
Right.
But that's at a personal level.
Right. You made mention of his statement and the fact that, but the fact is that he offered to purchase Transcorp at 250 billion naira, but he was rejected. I'll read some part of his statement, and that he wanted to make it clear that his offer was made with the best intention for Transcorp PLC and its shareholders, that he saw an opportunity to unlock the company's full potential and create value for everyone involved. He also said that it is important for investors to understand that free entry and free exit are crucial to healthy markets. The scramble for shares after my acquisition is a testament to the value that Transcorp PLC can offer, and he hopes that the company continues to thrive under new leadership. We only have a minute. Ayo, I don't know if you want to add a comment, Rufai, as well.
The only comment I'll say is that perhaps we'll say all is fair in love and business, because we see the way that billionaires play at that level. I don't think it would really affect the personal relationship, because at the end of the day, it's business. But it just, like you mentioned, this is a big lesson, not just for us who aspire it, but also for other billionaires as well.
Don't give out your secrets, I guess, Rufai, quickly.
I mean, obviously, they know each other's secrets, so they've come a long way. But it's a big lesson. Like Dr. Bat said, it's a lesson in betrayal, it's a lesson in trust, it's a lesson each other down. But one thing is certain, I mean, now all of this is out there in public, so we now know why what happened.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lesson, you know, for both of them. Hopefully, they'll be able to mend things and they'll be able to heal as brothers, you know, as they are. And wish them
when I want to buy some.
So guys, you've heard it for yourself how Festus Keyamo is coming after people that do not support the APC on Twitter. You know, I don't even know what these people are taking the Nigerian people for. They just want everybody to follow them sheepishly, to follow their ideas. They want us to accept Bola Ahmed Tinubu at all costs. They just want us to accept this man. You can imagine him saying that, you know, people will accept anything that goes against the APC for rule of law. That's not it. That's not it. When we see things going wrong, let's come out to say it's going wrong. And when things are going right, you have to, applaud it and say, yes, this thing is going the right direction. But, you know, these are politicians. They don't care. They only want it to favor them. And you see, like this one now for the Osun State, it's not in their favor. And you can see him crying foul on Twitter. So, guys, we just hope that the same thing that happened to Governor Adeleke of Osun State is going to happen even at the election tribunal. We all know that, you know, Adeleke lost out at the election tribunal, and that's why he headed to the Supreme Court. Even they just wanted him to leave office immediately, but he insisted that he was not going to leave. In short, this victory is a big one because, you know, when the election tribunal ruled in favor of the former governor, they were like trying to push Adeleke out immediately, that he should leave. But Adeleke proved stubborn. He told them he was not leaving, that he's going to, you know, appeal again. And that's why he went to the Supreme Court and ended up coming out victorious. In short, this victory is even like a surprise to them. And you could see people rejoicing and, you know, expressing their happiness, and that they are happy, they are satisfied with the ruling of the Supreme Court. And this is what democracy is all about. Not them, you know, deciding for us who becomes our next leader, as we can't wait for the tribunal to do the needful. If the tribunal doesn't serve our interests, we are heading to the Supreme Court. And I hope that everything is going to work out in our own favor. For we all know that Peter Obi won in this election. Peter Obi is the winner, and he's going to reclaim his mandate. For a new Nigeria is possible. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.